Hi, it's me, your boyfriend slash girlfriend slash stay friend's favorite content creator. Oh, 2 days in a row, baby. 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. And holy shit, they're striking. Video games are going on strike. Well, I shouldn't say video games as a whole, but the people who work on the games, the actors, the writers, motion capture people, everyone, they're all going on strike starting July 26th at 12:01 a.m. July 26th. There will be a strike. And this is coming courtesy of The Verge, but it's a developing story, but I want to talk about it because finally, right? Like first we had the actor strike that happened last year, and they reached some sort of agreement that was beneficial for most people, but not all of them. But the video game side was kind of left out, to dry in the rust. And that's not expression, but who cares? I just drank a Celsius, baby, so you can't even see it because I'm not sponsored. But let's just get to the let's just get to the video part. So like I said, this is courtesy of The Verge. Video game performers to go on strike by Ash Parrish. This is very recent. Again, it's today's time as of 5 minutes ago. So this is kind of hot off the presses. So like I mentioned here, they're talking about when they're going to go. And this is one of the reasons why. It's regarding AI protection, because of course it is. We're not going to consent to a contract that allows companies to abuse AI to the detriment of our members, said SAG-AFTRA President Fran Drescher in the press release. When these companies get serious about offering an agreement our members can live and work with, we'll be here ready to negotiate. So yeah, again, not much on that front, but this is very important because AI has been dogging the creative industry for a while now. This isn't just a recent development. It has been a problem for a long time. Generative AI has been taking from other people, taking art styles and what have you, and using it to hallucinate their own shit. And people who work in the industry or people who, think forward, were reading the tea leaves and saw exactly what could happen. And as much as many people try to lie and say that wouldn't be the case, there have already been reports coming from Activision, which I'll get to in a second, about how AI has been used to shorten the workload or to, increase productivity. Every corporate lingo speaks to just say they are taking people's jobs away and replacing it with AI. And now while they can't fully just cut people off and use AI, they are doing as much as they can given that restriction. So they're still gonna have people working on like storyboarding, whatever, but maybe instead of like 20 different artists working on something, they have like 10. And the other half is just relegated to AI. It's a fucking mess. But before I get to my full thoughts on that, I will now go talk about what happened with Activision. This is courtesy of Games Radar, who are using the Wired article, which I was gonna use, but then they got paywalled, and I don't have money for that. So we're gonna use Games Radar. But yeah, they're talking about how they use generative AI to do a microtransaction in Modern Warfare 3. That's crazy. That is fucking nuts. There we go. But a new report from Wired paints a picture of an industry that's already quietly accepted technology, at least in some major AAA studios. Speaking of Wired, one anonymous source who once worked on Call of Duty publisher claims that the company promised generative AI would only be used for concept art. That's always what they do. It's like a foot in door technique. Hey, we're gonna use this thing that people hate, but only for the most smallest, most what we consider insignificant, even though there are people who are concept artists, insignificant aspect of the creation process. But of course, it's not gonna stay there, because why would it? Yep, and then we go, AI only used for concept arts and other materials that wouldn't make it to the final game. However, the article claims that by the end of the year, Activision was already selling AI-generated skins in Modern Warfare 3 via Yokai's Wraith bundle. Another source claimed that a lot of 2D artists were laid off as part of Microsoft's wider cut, which left almost 2,000 employees out of a job, which I have covered on the channel before. Remaining concept artists were then forced to use AI to aid their work. The source continues, and have since been made to sign up for training sessions on how to use AI tools because, for now, 2D art assets are easier for AI to conjure up, meaning concept artists, illustrators, graphic designers, and more jobs are all at higher risk. Half the environment team was also cut from Overwatch 2, according to a Blizzard artist. And they wonder if they're under the same AI mandate also. Like, it's so disheartening, and as this part says here, it is emblematic of a much larger issue. It 100% is. That issue being the use of AI. Like I said before, generative. Now let's make some clear delineations here. When we're talking about AI, we don't obviously mean the artificial intelligence we have used for decades as a society and in gaming. We're not talking about having AI opponents or, having AI running scripts like what to do if a character does X, Y, Z. That's basic programming. We're talking about the generative AI, the AI that steals, that models from other creators' stuff, other creators' work, steals their content, and then runs it through like a bunch of different simulations and kind of hallucinates what it thinks you want via prompting. That's the AI we have a problem with. It is taking jobs away from people while using their skill set. I cannot tell you how dystopian that shit is. Like this is something you would play in a game like Deus Ex. Like, this is something that happened in Cyberpunk. This is something that you would see Grand Theft Auto satirizing. But it's happening in real life. You have these companies, these big, huge companies who are making billions of dollars, record profits, who are cutting people's jobs because they want to automate everything. This has everything to do with corporate greed, which I've been banging the drum on for fucking years at this point, but especially on this channel these last few months. This is why we are seeing a lesser product overall across the board in gaming. This is not DEI. Okay, DEI is not ruining games. It isn't the fact that women are there, or ESG, or BlackRock money, or whatever weird conspiracy theory you grifter YouTubers are pelling to people. This is why, when you have a company, when you have a whole industry that views you as so expendable that they would fire you and then leave the rest of you guys to use tools that would be your own replacement, that's not good for morale. When you have these companies who would rather invest in AI technologies rather than, developing their artist, that's not good for the industry. Because now you're going to lose identity. You're going to lose anything that made a studio stand out, like a particular artwork. Or eventually, I know before we talked about a while ago, how they were trying to use AI, especially with Ubisoft, was trying to use AI to create dialogue. You're going to lose the human element of making games. There is no point of playing a video game if humans aren't making it. There simply isn't, because you're just going to get, again, iterations or a hallucination, really, of what a computer thinks a game is, what it thinks a platformer is. It doesn't know anything about genre conventions, how to subvert them. It doesn't know how to tell a satisfying story. It doesn't know how to even keep consistent artwork. It does not do any of those things. When it's requiring so much more energy, like literal energy, to use to destroy the planet, and it doesn't even produce a tenth of the work that an actual human could do. Like it's an insane strategy to me. And you see these huge companies adopting it out the gate. Activision adopting it out of the gate. It's not surprising, but it fucking sucks. That's why I'm happy that they're going on strike. They need to remind these people, these shareholders, these CEOs, that they're not the important ones. The employees, the workers are. No one gives a fuck about the CEO of Activision. And no one gives a fuck about the CEO of Microsoft or Sony or anything like that. What we care about are the developers, people who are making the games. Give them the tools to make the games. Give them the environment to create good games, and you will see your profits rise like they've been doing. It's insane to me that now they're going to have to go on strike just to protect them from the job you guys hired them to do that they want to do. AI doesn't fix any problem. Oh, it's cost cutting. It's not really cost cutting, because again, like I said, it's going to cost a tremendous amount of energy, which then costs more money. And what happens when the prompt you use isn't repeatable? Can an AI go and fix its own mistake? No, it's going to just replicate a new thing given the same prompts. You're going to have humans working on it. Like they said in this article, you're going to have human beings there to train how to use this AI tool. Why would you waste time and money to teach them to use a complete different system when you could just pay them to do the thing they've been doing? Like, that's the problem I have with this AI shit. It doesn't fix anything. I have never played a video game and gone, damn, when AI would have made this a lot easier. No, because at the end of the day, it can't. If I have an issue with the game from a pacing standpoint, from a writing standpoint, from a graphical standpoint, from a performance standpoint in general, none of that has to do with the fact that, oh, it wasn't AI generated. This is simply just a cost-cutting measure for them, because now they have to pay like royalties or unions or anything like that. They want to just replace people with fucking robots. It's. I'm sorry I'm ranting. But I hate this shit so much. During COVID, we had nothing else we could do. The world was shut down. So you know what people did a lot of? Watching people play video games, buying video games, lots of streaming stuff, right, too, right? So these creators, these people who develop these games, were providing a service. They still do, but they're providing a much needed service for people at an unprecedented time. And how do we reward them? By firing them and replacing them with AI so we can make more money. Corporate greed, you guys. It always comes down to greed. Anytime you play a video game and you're like, oh, this is shit. Why is controls terrible? Why this? It's because of greed. They cut corners. They didn't do enough QA testing. They wanted to push it out because the shareholders wanted a bonus. Any myriad of those reasons, all has to do with greed. Like, and these are just like these are the shining examples. Again, they are going on strike because of AI. Because once again, corporate greed wants to take jobs from people so the people up top can make even more money. Line must always go up. Obviously, I'm pro-strike. I'm pro-union. I'm 100% pro-union. And it's insane. It's wild to me that these companies think that this is going to turn out good for them. Like what? I don't know, man. I'm hoping though that this is taking with the utmost seriousness, and they're not going to fall for some bullshit deal like, okay, we want this in writing in perpetuity. You do not get to fuck over these people who put their heart and soul into making these games for you guys, for us to enjoy as art, just so you can make 20 cents more. That's insane to me.